Well, if you want to run a 5K race, there are a lot of those every weekend here in northern Michigan. But if you want to run a 5.04K race, well, there's only one. It's a unique distance on purpose to make a point that more could be done to help young cancer patients like 5-year-old Connor.
He is just a fun-loving 5-year-old, just like any other kid. He loves dinosaurs. He loves running around and chasing his sisters. He loves digging in the dirt and working with Dad. And he's also a mama's boy. He loves to be cuddled up by his mom, but he's just a joy to be around.
In a lot of ways, Connor Regan is like any other kid. But in one very significant way, the Grand Traverse County 5-year-old is unique.
So in December of 2019, he was diagnosed with anaplastic ependymoma, a grade 3, which is the highest of the grades of that tumor. And it was a golf-sized tumor wrapped around his brainstem. He has, over the course of 4.5 years, he has had 6 reoccurrences.
From 6 months old to today, Connor spent a lot of time in the hospital, multiple surgeries to address his aggressive cancerous brain tumors.
I always remember before I had kids even, I would watch the St. Jude commercials and I would think to myself, like, how heartbreaking, but that will never happen to me. And then suddenly I was faced with a parent's worst nightmare, and we were figuring out the way of childhood cancer.
There are textbook ways to treat cancer, but they don't always work, especially on kids like Connor.
It's a lot of trial and error, and we need more funding for research so that we can get better outcomes, because there are so many things that are just on the brink.
Cancer is the leading cause of disease-related deaths in children in the U.S., but only 4% of federal cancer funding research goes to address childhood cancers.
We believe that they should level the playing fields a little bit and have more funding for children as well as adults, and not have such a small percentage going just to pediatrics, because they deserve more than 4.
That belief led the Regans to form the More Than 4 Foundation to bring awareness and help fund the research that could in the future save others like Connor.
At the end of the day, we just don't want anyone to have to be told to go home and make memories these last few weeks. We want there to be another option for these children. And so our hope is that we can help fund some of these trials and this research that is so close to finding a cure.
To raise funds, Team Connor here in September is hosting a 5K running race. Well, actually, it's not just a 5K. Add another 0.04 kilometers onto it.
It's a 5.04K, and it's really just that. 0.04 is to represent 4%, which is a small number, and we want you to know that children are only receiving 4% of the government funding. And so when you physically run that race and then you get to the end and you see how small 4% is, then hopefully it will just stand out in your mind and remind you of those kids that are fighting.
All are welcome, fast or slow, competitive or just supportive of the cause. 100% of the proceeds go to childhood cancer research.
At the end of the day, there's not going to be any change if someone doesn't start. And so even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just a little bit that we throw it, it'll feel like pennies and change to those researchers, but we're still making a difference because we're bringing people together, showing support for families that are going through this terrible journey, and we're doing our part, even if it's just a little bit.
And the inaugural More Than 4 Run Walk takes place September 21st. You can sign up now, and again, there are in-person options as well as virtual run options if you can't make it there that day. We'll have much more information about the run, how to sign up, as well as links for the More Than 4 Foundation posted with this story right now on our website, UpNorthLive.com.